Okay, back at it, and it's going to be cab corner replacement time. So I've got the rocker section clamped in here, kind of where I think it needs to be. And I went ahead and hung my door here as well, just to kind of see how everything is kind of coming together. And it's not Concours quality, but it's good enough for me, so that's really all that matters. But it's pretty good. It's really not too bad. Not as bad as I thought it was really going to be. So I think it's going to work fine. As long as my weather stripping and everything will hit here, and we'll get a good seal down here so we don't get a lot of noise, road noise, that'll be fine. So I've just got this clamped in here, kind of on both sides, and I'm going to start looking at, getting this cut out, getting that tacked in, so I can, get this united with the rocker panel and the step plate, and then I'm going to get the remnant of the Crown Vic floor somehow kind of tacked to the rest of the cab, so then when I lift this cab off next, it'll all be together, and then I can kind of start just trying to get everything closed up. So that's going to take a little bit of time, but I think that's kind of the next step. So here we go. So I got the cab up off the frame one more time, and I've got my cab corners, and I'm just kind of trying to get an idea of how much of this I'm going to cut out, and so then I can kind of scribe a similar dimension on the replacement, and then I'll cut my piece out of here. Because I've notched it for the frame here, it doesn't have to be the whole thing. I'm not going to put the whole thing in here anyway. And for some reason, this replacement one has this little stamping that comes all the way down, but mine stops a good ways up here. I don't know if you can see that or not, but it's kind of interesting. I don't know what the difference in those tabs are, but all the ones that I could find to order had this stamping that came all the way down. I'm not going to use that anyway, so that's going to get cut out based on where this is notched. So that's the next step. So that looks like about the size piece I'm going to use out of this replacement panel. And it's not really critical that this is square or anything to me, anyway, because once I cut this out, then I'm going to take this, put it on here, scribe the paint, and then I'll cut that portion out, so then it should fit in there like I want it to. Alright, so I got the replacement panel cut here and trimmed a little bit. It's not fitting the best. These Taiwan stamped panels are about what you'd expect. But it'd be better than a big rusty hole, I guess. So we'll make it work. When I was working on the truck here just a few minutes ago, my FedEx delivery guy came by and said that he was kind of interested in my project, and we got to talking, and he's kind of into this sort of thing as well, and said he's wanting to get a like a Model A Ford cab and build a rat rod, and he's a welder himself, and so I think that's one of the cool things about the community of individuals that like to kind of do this kind of thing, because we can always kind of share our stories and have something in common. So I'll give a shout out to Tyler if you're watching Rudy's Resurrection. I enjoyed meeting you, and hopefully we can get together sometime. So I got my piece clamped in here and got it basically scribed where I need to cut the old panel out, and we'll get that tacked in, see how it fits. So now it's probably a good time to replace some of this lower metal in here as well before I put that cab corner in. So I'm going to have to kind of see how long of a piece I need to kind of come down and join that. I might be able to do that from the inside here, actually. Probably just do it from the inside. Yeah, I got pretty good access from underneath. So this replacement panel fitment's about what I expected. So where this crease comes down, and where I've got this lined up, you come around here, it's probably about a 1/4 inch proud from where it makes this bend to kind of meet the door jamb. So I'm either going to have to cut a kerf out of this thing and join it back together and line that up, or going to re-bend this crease along the door jamb. I think it's probably going to be easier just to bend this crease along the door jamb, so that's probably what I'll do. So I'll pop it out, straighten this out, re-bend it, and then stick it back in, see how it fits. Alright, I got it cut and trimmed about as good as I can get it. And I got it clamped over here on one edge, and I'm going to kind of work it in as I tack it along. Alright, left cab corner's in. Now to switch to the other side and get that one in. I don't think that was going to be quite as bad, but the problem on the other side is that there's a big dent about right here on the bottom of the cab corner, so that's going to be a bit of a challenge. Okay, so we got the passenger side cab corner in, and I put just a little bit smaller section in here because I wanted to preserve my dent that's here. But I still got some more work to do. I got to close it in from where I notched this out because it leaves a gap when you cut through that. There's two panels here that come together. So I'll just put a straight flat piece to close this off, and then you can see my rocker is still not connected to the back of it here, where it has this little flange, if you will. So once I get my rocker, you know, all the way up in here, then I'll spot weld it to the inside of that lower piece in this B-pillar, and then I can kind of start building in, you know, the step and everything once I get the cab back down on the car frame. So I think I'm just going to leave it at that right here for the cab corners. Still a lot of work to do here, but I think that's going to come later once I get the rest of the floor in and the firewall and everything. So I think that's going to be kind of the next step, is kind of getting the firewall and the floor remnant kind of mated to the cab in the front, because I'm still planning on getting the cab, once I get that mated together, tacked together, I'm going to probably sit the cab on his back here on the ground, and so I can really get good access to all the underneath and the firewall and everything, and I can kind of get all that sealed up. So that's going to take the majority of the time. So I'll probably end this episode here just with getting the cab corners put in, and we've got Christmas coming up pretty soon, actually next weekend. So I'm not sure how much I'm going to be working on the truck until after the new year, so it may be a little while before I get another video out, but hang in there. Next episode will be coming. Just trying to stay on some type of schedule and keep chipping away at it a little bits at a time. I've been doing a little bit of wiring work on the side, and I'll video as much of that as I think is pertinent to post, but I'm trying to thin down the harness a little bit, especially on colder days when I don't feel like getting out here in the carport and working. So I've got the wiring harness and everything in the house, which my wife is really thrilled about. Actually on the dining room table, because it's a good place to spread out and work. But that's going kind of slowly, because I want to make sure I don't make any mistakes there. But anyway, I'll talk through that through a later episode, depending on what I end up doing there. So thanks for watching. Appreciate the comments that's been coming in. Getting some really good comments, and appreciate all the likes. So I probably won't be back until after Christmas. So I hope everyone has a Merry Christmas and you get everything that's on your list. And we'll see you next time. Thanks for watching.